Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So I recorded this video originally unscripted, and that was a big mistake. So VoiceOver John has stepped in back on script to talk to you all about creator presets. So I recently put out a video on editing, and I very briefly talked about how I had taken creator presets and turned them to my advantage, use them to help me find my own style to make myself a better editor. I didn't go into much detail about that stuff in that video, so today we're gonna be taking a bit of a closer look. So as a self-taught editor, I've been using Lightroom on the regular for about 2 to 3 years now. And make no mistake, I am well aware that I am not a master at Lightroom, nor do I claim to be one of the best editors around. If you know me or this channel at all, you'll know that above all else, I celebrate process. And process is what we're talking about here. On my own self-taught journey, I can proclaim with certainty that there is one method from which I have learned the most about editing in Lightroom, the most about colors, style, composition, everything. The absolute best thing that I ever did for myself as an up-and-coming photographer and editor was purchase Peter McKinnon's 2017 preset pack. Now, my mistake early on was using this preset pack of his as a quick way to make my photos look nice, which I think is a trap that most people who purchase presets fall into. And now, just so it's said, these creators do kind of sell their presets, their looks, for exactly this purpose. On the surface level, there really shouldn't be any shame in doing exactly what they want you to do with their products, but I'm here to challenge you, not to give you a quick fix solution. So this is my Instagram feed from back in 2017, and as you can tell, very obviously, there are definitely some photos in here that have been McKinnoned. Forgive me, Peter, please. At the time, I had no idea what I was doing with my photography. I didn't really consider myself to be any sort of real photographer, so I took my editing just about as seriously as you might expect, slap on those presets and call it good. I think I was literally loading up a full day's worth of photos right into Lightroom, selecting them all, just slapping a preset on them and then just exporting them all at the same time. Less than 5 minutes work. It was awful. The more time I spent with those presets, however, I discovered that minor tweaks to things like, brightness or saturation made the photos look better. And I didn't know what was all going into making the photos look better at the time. I think I was mostly just trying to rescue, Mr. McKinnon's look by nudging those sliders ever so slightly to keep his look on my photos looking lovely. What I didn't know, however, is that those little minor adjustments were the start of something big. Unbeknownst to me, I was taking my first steps towards becoming a better editor. So after Pete's 2017 pack, I picked up his 2018 fall preset pack as well when that dropped. Not ashamed to say that, by the way. This is part of my artistic journey, and I will share with you what I can about it so that hopefully you can learn something from it. It wasn't until after the 2018 fall pack that I kind of got tired and exhausted of the same kind of looks being all over my own work, knowing that it wasn't mine. Now, at this point, I started taking my artwork more seriously. I began to use my photography for my own projects, to give my website an updated look, to promote my work. I needed to step up my editing game and figure out my own style if I had any hope of taking myself seriously, if that makes sense. Luckily for me, I had at this point unintentionally taught myself a great deal about Lightroom simply by just using those creator presets. So what I'm doing here in this time lapse you're watching, I thought it would be kind of fun to load up 8 different photos, I think, of some photographs that I've taken over the last few months that didn't quite make the cut for my Instagram feed. So I thought I would take these photos and slap on a random creator preset from a different random creator for each one, and then show you, the viewer, my fellow artist, just how easy it can be to venture outside of that comfortable safety net that these presets often provide and start to develop and discover your own style. So the main thing here is that this is going to take time. Finding your style will take time. It can be hard, it will be frustrating, but it is worth it. Now, I know that people really like to have their best foot forward. I'm guilty of this as well. I want to actively show the world my 100% all the time. The quality and style that I put into my work needs to be top-notch and free from error. The problem, though, is that it just isn't going to be like that. If you take a look at some well-known brands like Sony or McDonald's or something, I don't know, their looks over the years have shifted. They've changed, not just their social branding, but their storefront and building designs, logos, advertising, and everything. And you can't be afraid of that change either. The style that I thought I had even last year is different from the style that I have now. So don't be afraid to commit to a look and then change it later. The process is important here, and if you're stuck not producing content out of that fear, you're already so deep in a hole that is very hard to get out of. So don't put yourself in that hole, put your stuff out there. And don't be afraid to start small either. Start with a few photos like I'm doing here, see how these creator presets affect each photo differently and play with them. Adjust those sliders, get a little bit crazy and then reel it back in. And over time, you'll discover what kind of looks you like best on your photos. So the point of showing you 8 different photos that all kind of start with a different random creator's preset is to show you that there is just so much variety out there. Each of these creators, I'm assuming, by the way, I really don't know who most of these people are. Each one of them is probably doing something different. You could have like a lifestyle photographer, a travel or landscape photographer, an urban city photographer, product photographer, street photographer, all kinds of different stuff. So if you have presets from like a city photographer and load them onto like a foresty landscape photo that you took and it really isn't working for you, it's important to know why. The creator whose presets you're using have developed that preset to work well for them in certain situations. Sometimes they can surprise you. Maybe their presets that are unusually versatile, but with my experience, most of the time they tend to be situational. So my advice, if you want to learn a lot about editing and finding your style, find 2 to 3 different photographers that work in either similar environments as you or shoot with the same subjects as you, even if they just have a style that you find appealing, and see if they sell their presets as a product. And if they do, fantastic. Grab those and start applying those presets to your photos. Adjust them, experiment with them, and have fun with them. But most importantly, don't be afraid of them. Use them as a learning tool. Try doing this. Slap a preset on one of your photos, take a good look at how it's changed your photo, then remove the preset and try to replicate that look manually by yourself from scratch. That was a technique that I tried and I found that to be a great way to learn as well. I've been doing some form of editing, more or less, almost every day for the last 2 to 3 years, and I'm just now starting to feel like I'm narrowing in on something that I would call my style. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of experimentation to get this far, and my style will probably change again within the month or something, but the important thing here is that my fear of my own content went away as soon as I stopped fearing process. If you can commit to the process, you're already halfway there. Now, I make it an active effort to keep everything as visible as possible when it comes to my process. So if you want, go over and take a look at my Instagram. Nothing's hidden, nothing's been deleted. Scroll all the way back and you can actually see my growth over the years as you scroll through it. You can see when I got my first DSLR. You can see the first time I tried an edit. You can see Peter McKinnon's presets. You can see my experimentation, my growth. It's all there. Being able to visualize that progress has helped me on my artistic journey a ton, and I hope that it can do something for you too. Don't fear the process. Create your artistry. So thanks for watching and listening, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I kind of flew through this, so there's a chance I missed something vital. I'll get back to those comments when I can, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.